Now I will be going to convert the RAG demo which I have shown you in the previous video into Runnable. So if you notice, this is a template and this template needs two input. One is context and another one is question. So if you notice, in which places I used the invoke function. One place is this invoke function where context and question inputs are fed. Then LLM.invoke. This is another invoke function. And if you see in the beginning on the top, here retriever.invoke function is used. So what I want to do, I do not want to use these kind of invoke functions. Instead, I want to make a chain and convert it into runnable so that my code will look cleaner. So here first point which I want to focus is that this prompt template requires two inputs. One is context and the question. So you see, I can make a chain here like this is a template. I will send this value to LLM and then LLM value will be sent to the parser and I will be going to get the result. So let me make it. So I already have a template. Template input will be sent to LLM. Then whatever the output LLM will be producing, that will be sent to parser and I will be going to get the final result. But this template requires two inputs. One is context and another one is question. So these are the inputs which I need to provide to this template. You see, I have a retriever also, and to this retriever I need to pass a question. So what I will do, I will use a parallel chain, and in the parallel chain what I will do, there will be a retriever which will be going to retrieve me the data, and I will use a function which you can say a lambda function. Suppose this retriever has given me four matching results. So what this function will do, it will combine these four results and make it a single augmented text. So that will work as my context. So let's say this will work as my context, and there will be a question also. This question I will pass as it is to this template using RunnablePassthrough. If you remember, I told you what is RunnablePassthrough. Whatever is the input, same is the output. So I will make a parallel chain here. In one section there will be retriever and I will make a pipe symbol here, and I will use a lambda function through which whatever the result you are getting here, that function will convert these separate results into a single augmented text. And in the second branch of RunnableParallel, there will be a question, and question will be used as it is. So I will use RunnablePassthrough and the question will remain as it is. After that, you see, this will be my parallel chain and this will be my sequential chain. So using the parallel chain, I get context and question, both the things. So that will become the input to this template, which is the part of the sequential chain. So after that, I can create a final chain where output of this parallel chain will be input to this sequential chain. So from here, the value of the context and the question will be passed to the sequential chain. So from here, the context and question both will be passed to the sequential chain, and after that I will be going to get the result. So this thing I will be going to perform practical. So what I do, I copy the whole script. I have already created rag pipeline.py file. I paste the whole script here. Here I will be going to import some classes. So here I am writing from LangChain underscore code dot runnables import RunnableParallel, RunnableLambda and RunnablePassthrough. I also need string output parser. So for this again go to core and output parsers. You have to import string output parser. So that's fine. Now what I will do, I will take this code and convert it into function, because this code I will be going to use in RunnableLambda. As you know, this code is converting the result returned by the retriever into an augmented text. So I press tab and enclose the whole code inside a function. So I will write def create underscore augmented text, and in the input you see I will be going to pass the results as an argument, and I will keep rest of the code, and here instead of assigning it to a variable I will be going to return it. So I am writing return this output. So that's fine. So this function is created. Also, what I do right now, I will be going to comment the rest of the stuff from here to here. Now what I will be going to do, I will be going to create a RunnableParallel class. Inside it I will be going to use a dictionary, and in this I will create two elements in dictionary. One is called context and another one is called question, because these are the two inputs which later I will be going to pass in template. One is context and one is question. So in the context, first whatever is the output of the retriever, that will be passed to this particular function which is create augmented test. So I have to put this function in RunnableLambda. So I will be going to use RunnableLambda and I will be going to pass this function. And in the question, you see I will use this particular question as it is, but this question I want to use it in a chain. So I will be going to use RunnablePassthrough, and you see put this question. So whatever is the input, that will be the output, and I will put comma to separate context and question. So you see this is my parallel chain. Now I don't need to write this particular command, because this time I will not be going to use the retriever.invoke function. Here I have integrated this retriever inside a chain. So directly what I will do, I will be going to write parallel chain dot invoke, and this parallel chain dot invoke I will be going to pass this question. What will happen to the astronaut who are watching the explosion? So this question I will pass, and then it will be going to return me some result, and that result I will be going to print. So I run the command till this point and see what will be the output. Here I did a mistake. Here I should not use this question. RunnablePassthrough is blank. So the question I have to pass here when I am going to invoke the chain. So by mistake I wrote it here. So let me run this command again. So you see in the output I got context, where I am getting the whole context which has actually joined 4 retrieved results because the value of k was 4. So you see there are some new lines. It means it's a different chunk, and this is a different chunk. Here also new lines are there, so this is a different chunk, and here this is a different chunk. And you see in another part of a dictionary there is a question which will be passed as it is. So now this question and this context will act as an input to the another part of a chain. So if you remember, I have done till this particular point, I have created a parallel chain where context and questions are created. Now the value of the context and the question I will pass to this particular chain, which is the sequential chain. So let me just quickly create one sequential chain. I just comment this result at the moment, and I'm not printing this result also, and I'm uncommenting the rest of the code here. I have this template. This template I will pass to this LLM, and then the LLM output will be passed to the parser. So first what I will do, I will delete this, and I will also delete this line, and I will also delete this line. And first I will be going to create one parser object by calling string output parser class. So parser is created. Now first I will use the template. Template output will be sent to LLM. Then LLM output will be sent to the parser. So you see this is my sequential chain which is created. Now what I will do, because both the chains are created, so I will be going to create the final chain which will be equal to parallel chain. Then the output of the parallel chain will be sent to the sequential chain. So the value of the context and the question will be sent to the template of the sequential chain. So the template will get the context as well as question, and then the whole prompt along with context and question will be sent to LLM. LLM will generate the result, and parser will parse the result and give me the output. So I can now do final chain dot invoke. So here I am writing final chain dot invoke, and the question I will pass here, and that it will be going to give me the result, and I will be going to print that result. So with the help of Runnables, I have developed this application. So I run this. So here I got the output. So it means my application is working perfect. So if I summarize, first this question, which is what will happen to the astronauts who are watching this explosion, will be passed to the parallel chain. Once it will be passed to the parallel chain, then what will happen? In the output, a dictionary will be created where I will be going to get the context and question. So the question will be returned as it is because I'm using RunnablePassthrough in this branch, and in this branch retriever based on the question, it will return me 4 different outputs from the embeddings. So now after that what will happen, this output will be sent to this RunnableLambda function, and it will convert it into a single augmented text. So from the context I will get this augmented text, and from the question I will get the question as it is. After this what will happen, this context and question will be passed to this template, and the value of the context and question will be filled in the whole template. This whole template will act as an input and it will be sent to LLM. LLM will produce the output and parser will pass the result, and after that I will be going to get the final result. So my code is working perfectly fine.